Streaming. So, should I? Okay, okay. Oh my goodness. Well, it says that we're live. Look at that. It says that we're live. It says that we're live. Audio check. Everything is amazing. It says that we're live. Y'all, let me hop on this right now too. Okay, let me hop on this. So it says that I'm live, excited, super duper happy to um be bringing y'all this conversation tonight, y'all. Like, when I really think about everything, y'all, y'all, listen, y'all see the topic that's going on nowadays, okay? Reesa Teesa, girl, you out here spreading the word and you are sharing this information like it's nobody's business, okay? You are sharing this information. Got me all nervous over here, like, girl, know how I've been keeping quiet. Hey, welcome in, Mr. P. How you doing? Listen, thank you so much for coming through tonight. Please let me know a little housekeeping really quickly. If you could hear me just fine, please just go ahead and just write it in the comment section and let me know that y'all can hear me so well. Listen, because I'm so nervous, y'all. I'm smiling, okay? This is how I get my jitters out. This is how I'm able to deal with my nervousness is by smiling. But I really appreciate you coming through. Like, listen, my head is starting to hurt because I'm smiling so much. Listen. Thank you so much for tapping. Thank you for tapping. Thank you for tapping. The event is live. We are indeed live. Let's get to 1,000K, y'all. Let's just get to 1,000 likes really quickly. So I could start with the conversation tonight. It's not my normal night that I would come on live. But I feel the need to hop in and start a conversation and just why not? Just go ahead. You guys who know, we talk one on one, right? We talk in the boxes. We talk on the phone. We talk. We've been talking for about 2 years now. We've been talking about this topic and been discussing it. And I feel that some of the things that others have been doing, I think that she really did a good thing to help some of those who didn't have a voice. She really helped the voiceless. So even if she's thinking that she don't know what she's doing, the bravest thing that she could have done was really be that voice of reason and to put the information out there. And I'm beyond grateful that Reesa Teesa definitely did that. I'm wondering if I should go ahead and put up like a picture or something of hers in the background so people kind of know exactly who I'm talking about or what I'm talking about. But at this point, I'm pretty sure you guys already know she's all over the place, okay? And if you look into my content as well, hey gorgeous, welcome in, welcome in. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me in tonight. I wanted to take the opportunity to really just kind of commend Reesa Teesa for doing what a lot of people are scared to do. Many of us find a community on different platforms. You know, we're on TikTok here, we're on YouTube, and we find platforms where we can build our community of people to share our story. But there's a way to go about doing it because there's so many risk factors involved that we learn how to deliver the information in such a relatable way and to make sure your safety comes first, because for me, I remember my safety was at risk. My safety was at risk, and I think that's what I was going to do, was go ahead and see if I could just at least put this picture in the background for you guys, cuz this was something. How do I do this again? Green screen, right? Okay, here goes green screen. This one. And here goes this. I think I had a screenshot. There it is. So for those of you, let me see if I can make myself a little smaller on here. Can I? No, I can't. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Then I didn't have the right effect then. So let me change that green screen because I wanted to make myself smaller on here. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I didn't want to be so big in the picture. Let me see if I could change the effects. But I'm beyond grateful. Thank you guys for coming through tonight, okay? I love you, sis. Thank you so much. Like I said, it's not normally a night that I will come on and talk about stuff like this, but I feel like it's the same information that I've been putting out, and the just cover the cam for a second to show the background if you don't like it. Oh, no, I'm okay with the background, but what I was going to do is put up an image that I had up on Saturday when I was up talking. So I wanted to put that image up in the background to use it as a form of display to kind of gauge more of the conversation where I'm going. Okay, so that's what I wanted to do. So I wanted to go ahead and do that. Hold a second. Let me see more. And I think I go to effects, right? See, y'all are more savvy than me because you're good at this. Effects. I think it was the type of green screen that I chose. Green screen. I needed the one with this guy on it, right? And then now I'll be able to add the picture in, right? I think that's more like it. So I could try to see if I could shrink myself a little bit, right? Kind of cover back myself. Okay, there we go. I think that might be a little bit better. I might have made a mess out of it and can't really see what's going on right now. But what I'm doing is really just putting the information out there, right? So this is what I had up on Saturday, not knowing anything about the young lady, right? Just sharing my story here and letting you guys know that this is what it looks like when you live with a narcissist, right? This is exactly what it looked like when you're dealing with a narcissist. It's a complete disaster. It's a mess. It's a tornado when you're living in a house with them. So my title tonight, I titled it that lesion birth Reesa Teesa. And the reason why I chose the title that way to say that he birthed her is because he gave her the platform to be able to stand on. He gave her her story. He gave her an opportunity to be able to speak. He was a part of the plan. And I understand how terrible the story is because hey, bathing blessings. Oh my, look at my sis coming through. Hey, fan trees. Listen, guys, welcome y'all so much for coming in tonight. I love y'all so much. I know once I said I was going to go live, my fam, y'all was going to come through and support your girl. And I absolutely love it and can't tell you thank you enough. I appreciate you to the max. Thank you so much. It just really helps me to understand that yes, I do have a story to tell. Continue to tell it. Continue to do what we're doing, right? Keep telling it. Frantrice, I know for sure that you have an amazing story. Hey Shay, hey sis, welcome in my love. Listen, my beautiful queens, I love y'all so much. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. You guys have a story to tell. And what I'm so amazed about is to see how you guys tell it in bite-sized pieces. And that is so amazing to know that you're able to tell your story in bite-sized pieces because it's so much to take on. It's so much to carry. It's so much to bear. And I want you guys to understand that you're not in this alone, as you could tell. And that's why I'm using the opportunity. I'm not trying to get no clout off of her. You guys already understand where I'm coming from with this. But the same encouragement is to know that you're not in this alone. Thank you, sis. Thank you so much, my sis. It's to know that you're not in this alone. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're experiencing, I would love for you guys to understand why I titled it tonight and say that lesion birth Reesa Teesa. He gave her her voice. He gave her, if you listen, I couldn't watch all of her story, and I'm gonna be 1,000% honest with you. And it's not because I was emotional, it's because my story is no different. Y'all seen the picture in the background. My story was physically abusive. My story is no different. So I understand what is exactly is going on in her story and I empathize with her. But I also understand this from a spiritual perspective. That when you come close with the enemy like that, you have to surrender to God. You have to let go of control in order to get out of that situation safely, because what they have plans for you is to take your life. This is not a physical fight. She got out very well, but her soul, she needs to understand her soul. That's the main issue, because the attack and everything that was taking place in that particular relationship was spiritually, it was a spiritual battle. And I don't know if you guys really understand that, because I also had to come to grips. I have books all about the place, how I journal things, how I document things, and how I write them down, because this looks physical and emotional, and people are coming for her size and is attacking that her self-esteem is low and that she is fat and she is not beautiful, and they're attacking physical because they can only see with their physical lens. It's not a physical battle. This is nothing physical. So, okay, she looks like that. Look at doctors, look at gorgeous people. Look at me. Say something about me. I wish you would. Okay, I wish you would say something about me. Okay, when you're in the hands of these narcissistic people, their attack is not on your physical. Your physical is your insecurity, and they understand that that's how they're going to gain leverage over you because of your physical, and I understand that. But it's a spiritual fight. It's something that's within. It's something that they go deep within. So if you don't understand who you're dealing with and what you're dealing with and what you're up against, the cycle is going to repeat itself. Fear is going to traumatize you, and you won't understand how to heal and to recover from this thing. I had to surrender everything and gave up control in order to become sane, in order to become well, in order to be my better self. I had to do these things. The battles and the storms ahead is real. They are real. This man gave her voice. If you the parts, some of the parts and bits and pieces that I've listened to in her stuff, right? Thank you, sis. Thank you so much. Take charge. I appreciate you, sis. Some of the stuff that she mentioned inside of her topic. You hear what she said? She said he got a kick out of her smiling and going to some of these places, looking at houses, knowing well he was not going to get her anything. Do you know what that means? That's how a narcissist get pleasure. They get so much joy and pleasure in watching you suffer. The more you suffer and they know that they're going to rip that from underneath you, this is how they get their satisfaction. The more you smile and seem so happy and that you're having a good time and that you're enjoying yourself, that's how a narcissist rip out everything from underneath you, because they know that none of it is going to be true. But you see the plans and the things that he did for her, because his assignments, right? He was assigned to destroy her. His assignment was to take her out. His assignment was to break her. But you see that the thing that the devil meant for her bad, God turned it for her good. I want y'all to understand what I'm saying. The thing that turned out for her bad, that was supposed to destroy her, was sent for her good. Do y'all see the blessings that's restored upon her? Do you guys see the anointing that is on her? I wonder if you guys see the anointing. You too have that anointing, but you got to let go of control. You have that anointing. I'm telling you, you do. If you're on the other side of this and you still breathing on the other side, I'm telling you, you have that anointing, and God is still calling you to get directions from you. He's trying to give you directions and point you in the way to go, but you're trying to figure out everything yourself, and you don't realize that He got you through this. This is not a physical battle. It is not a physical battle. So you think that he just came into her life, right? And they're just having this relationship, and oh, he's just this mystery man and all of these things. Watch previous videos that I've posted before. They have to lower you in. They study you They study you and they listen to everything that you're saying and they document it. They take notes of everything that you are saying. A narcissist has a short window to reel you in. They have a very short window because their attention span is pretty short. They like it quick. They want it now and they got to get it now. And that's how they operate. They have to get it now. Do you guys hear what she said about how fast he was moving to get her pregnant? Think about it. By March, they got together. By April, she is ready to move him in. None of it makes sense. And by June, she was pregnant. Do you see the rush? Do you see the speed of how things is taking place? Do you guys see the rush? I remember my own situation, and I'm going to bring me in it. Because the one that I was with, it's embarrassing to say it, and this was one of the reasons that I kept quiet for so long, was the fact that I went to Jamaica and marry him and bring him from Jamaica to America. If you go on my YouTube page, my very first video that I went live, 2022, October 8th, I think it was, on my YouTube page, you could see when I was talking in my very first YouTube video, when I was telling my story and letting people know that when I got with the narcissist, he was pressuring me to have a child for him. That was his mission, for me to have a child with him. He will force me, he will pressure me every day. And I would always notice that every time I leave the house, and I look on the phone bill, there's always a phone call on the phone bill. There's always, like, every morning when I leave at a certain time, it was a pattern, it was a pattern. There's always a phone call after I leave to go to work. And I'm like, something ain't right, but it's a private call. So the call came in private, so I couldn't track back the call. Listen, I became such an FBI that I would monitor stuff. I would just be there observing anything. And guess what? When I would ask him about it, it's an argument, it's a fight, and the place would look like this. When you confront a narcissist about their behavior and what they're doing, you come home to seeing the house look like the picture that I have shown you in the background right now. If you confront them about their poor behavior, you'll see a picture. You'll see your house turned upside down. It's destroyed. This is what a narcissist will do to you. Thanks, Hood Nerd. I appreciate you, King. This is, hey, Brown Eyes. This is what they'll do to you. They will punish you and make you feel the pain of asking them any question, and it's called a narcissistic rage. Here what's going to happen. I love that this information is out here. You hear me? I am beyond happy that it's out here. It sucks that we go through this, but we don't talk about it. So people like myself who have committed myself to becoming a coach to help people get through this is a voice of reason. But it's not just a voice of reason. I have done extensive research, educated myself, taken degrees and stuff to study these people to the T, to understand them very well. They're not to be played with. So if your hand is in one of their mouth, I suggest you take your time and pull it out. Do not get overly excited. I'm telling y'all, it will be one of the most dangerous thing that you do, to get overly excited and get aggressive with one of them and get all loud and try to put them on blast. That's the one thing you don't want to do with them. You hear me tell you? They're dangerous. Yeah, we could laugh at them because they're mentally unstable. You see how they're escape? You see their escape. They're mentally unstable. They're mentally unwell. They already have their exit strategy. What's yours? We go into relationship, we go into situations not having an exit plan. It's just like crafting up a business. When we put a business together, what's the exit plan? If this business is not successful, how do I get out of this business successfully and to protect myself? What is my protection in this business plan here? And think about going into a relationship with a narcissist. Think about going into a relationship with them. You cannot come out of this thing unscathed. You have mental issues. You have psychological trauma. You have emotional trauma. You have all of these things. And these are some things that we got to heal from. The emotional abuse, the psychological abuse. First of all, when, listen, when she said he was on the phone with his imaginary friends, y'all. Yeah, he was on the phone with his imaginary friends. All I could remember was going down to the basement by the sliding door. And I'm telling you exactly where it was. And this man was standing there talking to somebody on the phone. But I actually heard a female voice on the phone. So I get it. But it's just, it brought me back when I heard him on the phone with a female talking, and I said, who you on the phone with? Because this is me thinking now I'm blowing up something, right? I'm exposing something, and I'm like calling the attention to, like letting whoever on the phone know that he got a woman right here. I'm asking him, who you on the phone with? He's telling me, oh, I'm on the phone with a family member. So all of a sudden, it's a family member, and the family member doesn't have a name. This is what they do, and they raise your blood pressure so high, trying to get something civil going on in the house because it's complete chaos and madness. Hey, my sis. Hey, sis. It's complete chaos and madness when you're in a relationship with one of them. You are turned upside down. Y'all think, listen, I'm not I'm not downplaying anything that anyone's been through. I'm telling y'all, she's not the first one that went through something like this. She's not the first one. Plenty of us have gone through it and has kept quiet because the shame associated with it. So you will hear me at times and say to y'all, don't be ashamed of what you've been through. Don't be ashamed of it, because a lot of times we go through these things to birth our purpose. Why would you go through something like this? Not because you wanted to, not because you knew that this was going to be the outcome, but because there's a greater blessing ahead of it. And if you let this thing take over you and capture you and cultivate you, then you're not unlocking and tapping into your blessings. There's a part of you that needed to be restored. There's a part of you that was broken. There was a part of you that was down that needed to be restored. She has a lot of healing to do. So do we. We have a lot of healing to do, and we have to understand the process and the journey in doing this. And one of the first things you got to do is to take care of yourself. A man is going to come into your life and see that you're not taking care of yourself and you don't do certain things for yourself, and they know that you're not used to certain things, and that's exactly what they're going to dangle in front of your face for you to be drawn to them. They know that you're not used to certain things. So when you hear it, you get superly excited. One of the things that I noticed that stood out to me was when she started to mention all these offshore accounts and all these little things, and he was just throwing these fancy words out. Someone wrote in the comment section, I just Googled this and I just Googled that. That's the thing. We don't think to think because we're superly excited because we have this imaginary checklist and we're trying to check off that imaginary checklist. You see that checklist? That checklist is not character based. And that's the issue. That checklist is a tangible checklist. Okay? That checklist that we seem to be checking off. Oh, he needs to be 6 foot this, 5 foot that, 10 foot here, long in the pants, bow in the legs. None of that has to do with his character. That list that you are creating needs to be a character trait list. Take my foolish advice. I do have one. I could give it to y'all for free. I don't. It's okay with me to give it to y'all for free. I don't care. You need to have a character base list. That's it. There's no reason for you to be worrying about a man that's 6 foot this, making this amount of money, and all of these things. Y'all realize that the same very thing that y'all are using, society is using to dangle in front of your face to make you feel like this is real, is the same very thing that he pretended to have to lower her in, to take advantage of her. What happened in here? Girl, that's what I was living in. That's the hellhole that I was living in, okay? That's what I was dealing with, okay? So a lot of times we don't talk about stuff, we don't really share our stories, and we don't really put the information out there like that. Well, yeah, I started discussing this in Saturday night. Remember, Brown Eyes, you were in here Saturday night, sis. So you know, and I knew nothing about the young lady, Reesa Teesa. I didn't know anything about her stuff. And I pull up the picture here, remember? Like, hey, welcome in. I pull up the picture here, sis. Remember? I had no clue about her because y'all know I would have said something, and I was just showing everyone what a narcissist looks like. What it looks like when you live in a house with a narcissist and you ask them a question or you confront them about cheating, lying, or doing something. This is what you come home to. That was my kitchen. That was my kitchen. Everything in the house was broken. This is Brown Eyes. I'm so happy you are my witness sitting here tonight. Okay? Because we were just on the topic Saturday night that passed, because you guys know I only come on live Saturday nights, and I've included Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. And as you could tell, today, Thursday, I'm on because I'm like, there's no way we were having this discussion on Saturday night about this just to find out she was in the background talking about the same thing, y'all. Ain't that something? It's so many of us that been through this experience that don't know that we're gonna be okay. We're gonna come out on the other side. And that's what I was here doing, is giving words of encouragement to let you guys know that you're gonna get out of it. I too was in it. I was in this. This is what I was living with. This is what I was dealing with. This is the level of madness. This is the narcissistic, abusive marriage that I was in for 13 years. Okay? 13 years. So, sis, you are beyond blessed to have only gone maybe what, 2 years or three? Something like that? 2 or 3. Imagine doing 13 years and your house being destroyed like this every couple of days, every couple of weeks. You go into a situation, you're trying to have a conversation with them. So now you start to walk on eggshell. And that's the unfortunate thing about being in a relationship with an abusive, narcissistic, toxic man, is that, or even a woman, because they get out of control as well too. But I could only speak for me. This is what it looked like. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that she's not telling us yet. I'm not saying he put his hands on her, because a lot of times they don't like to leave physical evidence because they want everyone to think that you're crazy, because they're giving an illusion that you're crazy. But I'll tell you one of the things, how a narcissist in the beginning, how they get you hooked, okay? So they'll start to praise you in the beginning. You're going to be highly praised, the best thing they have ever had, and you're the one that they've always dreamed about, and you're beyond perfect for them. Red flag, immediate red flag. You cannot be someone's everything if they don't know you. It doesn't matter what you appear to be. It doesn't matter what you present yourself to be. You cannot be somebody's everyone if you just met me. How could you possibly be that? That's beyond impossible. But guess what? They know when we're emotionally insecure. They know when we are emotionally insecure, we are broken, and we have low self-esteem. They know. This is exactly what they do. They feed you what you're lacking in. So if your self-esteem is low, you don't get emotional secure, you have abandonment issues, you have neglect issues, guess what? That's their stomping ground. That's exactly how they get to lower you in. And that's how they play on your emotions and play with you because they know that you have some issues going on. There's some abandonment issues going on. So pay attention to these kind of behaviors when you see a narcissist. They're too happy to get with you. They want to move in so quickly. They want to go so fast with you in a relationship. Pay attention to those things. That's a big red flag. A humongous red flag. And the next thing that they do after getting you hooked on being with them is to get you a baby. Now, y'all already know you have to have a baby for a narcissist because they already know they need you emotionally attached. They need to gain leverage over you and they need to do that push and pull, tug and war with you. So, the only way to get that done is to lure you in with the baby, it's to get you hooked with the baby. Once they got you hooked with the baby, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Once they got you hooked, it's a complete wrap. They're going to continue to manipulate you to tell you they want the family, but then there's no headway made in taking care of a family. There's going to be no headway making to take care of the family. I grabbed the phone from the man in the basement when he was there talking on the phone. And I ran out the house, reversed out, and drove off with the phone, y'all. When I opened that phone and I just looked at a number, I remember the number ending in 7057, okay? 7057. And I called the number and it was a female on the phone. And I started to talk to her and we're talking on the phone. Come to find out, this man have been asking her to give him money to pay for a bill. But then he also asked me to help him out with some money to pay for the same bill. Listen, they got skills. They got skills, but they're not that skilled. It's just that their whole agenda the entire time, you can't think that you're trying to outsmart them unless you understand who you're dealing with. They're going to run game. One, they're going to run game on you, period. But if you don't know what they're doing, they're very sneaky and manipulative with the game. That's what they do to lower you in. They run the game. But once you get a hold of them and you find out that this is what they're doing and it's a lie, walk away. Don't try to negotiate with them. Don't try to ask them no questions. You try to ask them no question, your kitchen will be left looking like this. Your house will be left. Somebody said in the comment section, your dirty house will be left like this. Well, that was my dirty house. That was my dirty kitchen. That was my toxic household that I was praying and asking God to work on my marriage. That was my marriage right there. That's what I was asking God to work on that. When you're with a narcissist, you're praying and asking God to work on your marriage and to work on your relationship, and you don't realize that you're actually right there with the enemy. You are right there sleeping with the enemy inside your household. They're destroying you and tearing you down bit by bit, minute by minute, minute by bit. Listen, that's one of the worst things you could do is to be with one of them. I'm beyond grateful that I got out and that I got out safely. I got out and I got out safely. I did a lot of things that I wish if I had done differently. But one of the things I didn't want to do is I didn't want to know that I shortchanged him. So I sold my house because he would threaten my life every day that he would unalive me if I didn't sell the house and give him the money. So sometimes y'all don't understand why people don't talk about stuff. Y'all don't understand why people don't share a lot of these things because your life is on the line. You're in a state of fight or flight constantly every day. You're in danger with them. And I'm not downplaying the fact that they won't do what they say they're going to do because I'm telling you, they will claim insanity. They will claim these things on their behalf. They will claim them so they know what they're doing. They will hurt you. They will hurt you. I've been in a situation where I asked him just a simple question and got popped in my ears. I couldn't hear for a period of time. Okay? So even fighting back with them, okay? You might not make it out of that fight. You might not make it out of that fight. I'm gonna give y'all a quick story time. My youngest daughter, I think this was 2015 into 16, around August, either 2015 or 16. I think it was 2016 August. Yeah, because my daughter wasn't walking yet, right? But she was just about one because she was born 2015. So it was the following year and she wasn't walking yet. And we happened to be by my mom's house and I was upstairs in the attic. He wasn't in New York because I'm from New York. So he wasn't in New York. He wasn't at home. He was in California. So he went there to visit. This man came back that particular night. I think it was August 31st or whatever. He came back that night and I was inside the house. He came in and started to argue. Hey, loves. He came in and started to argue with me that night. It was horrible. He kept accusing me because there was a bottle downstairs. Mind you, my mom husband lives at the house. And there was a bottle of Guinness that he drank down there. He started cussing me and telling me that he knows that I have a man in the house. I brought a man in the house and that's why the baby's not walking because I got a man in the house and then I'm cheating on him and this is what I'm doing. Me and him got into it. We started arguing. It's inside my mom's house. The argument started upstairs and then it came downstairs in the living room. It got physical. He's punching on me. I'm hitting on him. And he grabbed my car keys that he's going out now. So he just cussed me out. And then he's telling me that he's going out now to go on the road with my car. So I'm like, no, 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 no. Give me my car keys. You're not going nowhere with my car keys. Give me my car keys. He hopped into the car and I'm trying to get the car keys from him. He's trying to swerve the car, like start up the car to drive. I'm like, no, give me my car keys. So I reached my hand in the car, grabbed the car keys, and he came out the car because he know that he couldn't go any further because I have the keys now. This man came out the car and I got into the driver's seat and he gave me one of the biggest punches on my face. Not, woo, one of those right hooks on my face. And I was just like in shock. I couldn't believe that he really hit me. He really punched me in my face and I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. And I remember in the glove, in the hand rest in the car, because I have a middle part hand rest in the car. I remember there was a flashlight in the middle of the hand rest of the car because I was looking at properties to purchase a property. I kept looking in house shopping to buy a property. And I remember I had went upstate with my sisters, two of my sisters and my kids. And the flashlight, we used it to look inside houses. Nice long one, metal handle and everything. And it was inside the hand rest. And when that man punched me in my face, y'all, I ain't gonna listen. I said I'm gonna give y'all a story time really quickly. When he punched me in my face, I knew I was gonna hit him back because I was tired of the punches. I was tired of it. Okay, I took up the flashlight and I walked to the back of the car. And we're there arguing back and forth, and I have the flashlight in my hand. And I don't know if y'all remember the movie Enough with Jennifer Lopez. And I remember when the guy was training her. Y'all, let me tell you, okay? When you are living inside something, you start to think about how you're gonna get out of this thing, how you're gonna escape it. And I remember when he was training Jennifer Lopez how to fight. And I remember him telling Jennifer Lopez that the same amount of strength that they use to hit you is the same amount of strength that they use to miss. Let me tell you. And I remember him telling her, all you have to do is to time the punch, time the hits. Well, I'm going to tell you, I timed it, okay? When he pulled back, listen, y'all, because the first one that I got in the car, I knew I was going to get more outside, okay? I knew I was going to be in for something outside. When he pulled back and came, I dodged, I duck, so that he missed. And boy, did I took that flashlight and I was beating on top of his head. I beat his head. Listen, I was beating on top of his head. So if this is my confession, I don't care. The authorities already knew what took place, okay? And that's how I was able to escape him because his head was bleeding, okay? So my thing is that When you're in such an abusive relationship, get out. I'm telling y'all, I did not know I was gonna get out there that night. That night when he was hitting me in the car and punching me in my face, I did not know I was gonna get out alive. But I remember that the flashlight, that metal flashlight, was in the middle of the handrest because we were looking at properties, and I took it out. And I went out back because I know he was gonna beat on me. And I'm outside on the street on the main road. I'm outside. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the neighbors. I can't run. Listen, I ain't gonna run that fast. I ain't gonna outrun this man. So I had to think about how was I gonna protect myself because I needed my safety was primary to everything. So I had to think about my safety. So instead of going out there to argue with him and fight with him, I had to think quick, what do I have in this car to help me out? Because I'm gonna need help. I'm gonna need help. It don't matter how big you think you are, bigger than a man. A man's strength is way different from a woman's strength. They have a different type of strength. I don't care about their size. You hear me? Because he's a skinny little thing. But he got a hook on him. Listen, okay? And that man hit me so hard in the car that I was beating on top of his head outside and he was bleeding and he dropped to the floor. That's how he stopped. That's how he stopped beating on me that night because I bust him in his head and he dropped to the floor and he stopped. I ran across the street to my mom's house and I told her what was going on. And I called the police, and the police came and they saw how bruised up I was, how scratched up I was as well, and saw that the fight started from inside the house and went out on the streets. I wasn't arrested, but he was arrested. And it only gets worse. It gets worse because the whole time you arrest these fools, you're still thinking about if they're okay when they just did something like that to you. They just did something like that to you, and you're still thinking about how are they doing if they're okay. So you stop thinking about your own well-being and you're concerned about their well-being and what is going on with them. This is what we have to stop doing. We have to learn how to put ourselves first. And I did not know what that looked like. I devoted myself, everything about me, into a family. I wanted my family so bad that I was willing to work it out. I went to a counselor. I went to a counselor to get help. I went to a therapist to get help. But nobody understood narcissism. All they would tell us is you guys need to sit down and have a conversation. You guys need to talk about stuff. Or let's pray together. They did not understand narcissism. So they didn't understand that this was beyond repair. This wasn't normal. First of all, this wasn't even ordained. So this is not something normal. This is something mental. This is something psychological. This is damaging right here. This is not human like that's taking place. He's not a human. So I'm fighting with the enemy right here. This is not normal. This is not a person. Y'all can't see this. If y'all are professionals, you guys cannot see that this is not a person. So y'all couldn't tell me that this is not a person that I'm dealing with. This is a thing. This is a spiritual battle because y'all want me to keep coming back with my money. Y'all just want to keep coming back for money. So y'all can't tell me that this is something bigger than me and I can't fight this alone. Oh, you don't have to sit here and listen to my story. For my supporters and my family who've been here with me, they know we've been talking about this. So if it bothers you that I share my story, my love, you do not have to hang around. I'm not trying to be Miss Reesa Teesa. I bless her. Y'all heard my beginning, my intro, how I said, I bless her. Okay? I bless her because that man birthed her. I got birthed my purpose for going through my own struggles, for going through my own abuse, for my going through my own pain. That man forced me to have a baby with him. That man forced me to get pregnant for him. I was going through doctors to get IVF treatments I was getting intramuscular shots in my butt. I almost lost my life several times getting these intramuscular shots in my butt to conceive a baby for this man. This is how much I wanted a family with him. Okay? So they know what you want. So and hence the reason I don't focus on my story so much on my page. I try to educate people on the things to look out for. I try to educate people on how to go about recognizing them, how to spot them, how to see the things that they're doing, how to see these things. This is what I really educate people on, especially ladies, because we think that our body is all and it's not. There needs to be more substance there than just that. I remember this man would harass me and tell me to have a child for him, and I was not ready to have a child as yet because I was still in my prime. I went to the doctor and I was getting intravitreal muscular shots in my behind nightly. Okay? And they would smoke so much that I smelled it too much and I almost passed out. Let me tell you, the stress, the pain, the madness that they bring you in and the trauma that you go through, I end up losing the babies. I had twins. I was pregnant with twin boys. So yes, I was in a lot of pain for a long time and all I wanted was some answers. Y'all could check this story out on my YouTube page. It's the very first video that I did live on my YouTube page. So I'm not trying to, listen, I don't got time for y'all extra stuff in the comment section, but I appreciate y'all though, right? I lost the twin babies, the twin boys. And then I had my daughter afterwards. Then I had a second child. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If God wants children to come forth, he will bring them forth, even if it's with a monster. Okay? Even if it's with a monster, because my children now has been my reason for not giving up on life. My children now are the reason that I'm so grounded, that I'm determined, because I wanted to ensure a safer environment for them. I realize now that I was that little girl that I didn't have my mom at home and I didn't have my father because he died when I was 3. And that was the reason that I wanted to keep him in their life so bad despite the abuse. I kept the abuse quiet. I didn't talk about it. I kept it quiet because I wanted my children to be in their father to be with them. I didn't want them to grow up like me, not knowing who my dad is, and to have a void and emptiness inside of me. I was empty. That's what it was for me. I was empty. I was missing my dad. I had daddy issues. I had a void and emptiness. My dad was a married man. If we want to find, because I started, as I got older, I started to tap into my childhood trauma and to tap into things to understand who I am, where I came from, and to learn everything about me. And I guess she was embarrassed about that. She's not the first. She won't be the last. As you could tell, this happened how long ago? And it's still happening today because there's so many other women out there that is looking for rescue, that's looking for refuge. And sometimes they get caught in the hands of the wrong man and they take advantage of them. So educate yourself, ladies. Ladies, especially those of you who don't have a dad around, I'm telling you, educate yourself on daddy love. Educate yourself on finding that love that comes from within. Find that love and that peace that comes from within. That's the only way that you're going to get it, because you're looking for it outside of you. And that's where, hey, Kev, hey, sweetheart. You're looking for that love outside of you, and you're not going to find it. And that's the unfortunate truth, that you're not going to find the love outside of you that you're looking for, because it's already inside of you. I was searching for something I already have. Looking in the mirror every day, I realized that my dad is in me. Half of my makeup is my dad. Half of my makeup is my mom. So sometimes when you think about the things that you're lacking and you're looking for, that daddy figure, it's already inside of you. So you have to learn how to unlock that and how to embrace it. And that's what's going to help you much better. When I learned that, I realized what I'm looking for was already inside of me. So now, run your game if you want to run your game. What's going on in the background? That's my that background right there. That was my kitchen. That's who I was living at home with, in my kitchen. So yeah, that was my house. So yeah, somebody said that it's a nasty place, right? You don't even know the half of what it looks like escaping out of that thing and surviving, right? You don't even know the half of what it looks like surviving something like that. Let me see if I can find you. You see, look at that picture. That was Saturday. That's because I was live on Saturday, and I was just sharing that picture Saturday. I didn't even know this young lady came out with her story. I listen. This was on Saturday when I went live. I was actually sharing with everybody about some of the things that was going on in the household and how this man damaged the house, and I would come in and to see the place destroyed, the TV broken, everything. This was here. Let me see. Let me add a different picture over here to see how he would come in and destroy the house and break everything down inside the house. So it's no fun and games when you're dealing with somebody like this. You know, a lot of times they don't leave physical evidence behind. Most of them, they don't like to leave physical evidence. This was another picture right here. Let me see if it will come up. They don't, most of them, let me see if I can move this out the way. Can I move myself out the way? Yeah, there we go. Most of them don't like to leave physical evidence behind because they already know that you're going to be able to tell the story and point out some of the things that they do. That's what they're going to do. Look at the house. This was me walking into the house, y'all, and I was sharing a story Saturday night of how I felt something in my spirit before even walking in the house that something was off. I was really concerned because I felt it in my spirit that something was off inside the house, and I didn't bring my kids inside. I left them in the car, and I waited. Before going inside the house, I let the kids sit down in the car, and I went inside the house to assess the house to see what's going on inside. And this is what I walk into the house to see. This is exactly what I walk in to see. And this is just a continuation from our conversation on Saturday. So if you were here Saturday, you guys can write in the comment section because y'all know we was on this topic having this discussion before. Yes, that's that New York accent mixed with Jamaican as well too. So what a combination, okay? A little bit of Jamaican and also um and also New York. Now you don't have to be confused. That's why I'm just giving a little explanation so y'all can understand that this is just a continuation from those of us who were actually doing a live on Saturday without even knowing this young lady had her story going on. That's why I said it's a blessing because I was sharing my blessing to show you guys how this is what it was like living with a narcissist. This is what the house would look like when he would come home confronted with him cheating or confronted about him doing some things. This is exactly what it looks like right here, okay? So me coming out of this with my life was more than anything else I could possibly ask for. And that's what I was doing on Saturday, sharing my story to let you guys know that it is possible to get out, but the best thing you could do is get out safely. Because if somebody's going to do this to the house that you're living in, you don't have to come on here, sis, girl, bye. You could get off. Let me see. Let me help you out. Hold on, love. Don't even move 1 second. Block. There you go. You don't have to come on here, sweetie. Like I said, we've been having our conversation since Saturday in a continuation, okay? So I'm beyond grateful to be alive, okay? And I commend everybody who has gone through narcissistic abuse, everybody who has gone through and is a survivor of narcissistic abuse. I'm gonna be honest with you, I commend you for standing tall. I commend you for being strong. Listen, it's so much that took place that night in that house. It's unbelievable. But since y'all want to go in for the clowning, let me show you what a woman who cannot be broken looks like and how she's able to come out of that thing victorious. Since you want to go in for it, and I did it to everybody who was on live as well too, to show them the restoration. So that's the after product right there. So go ahead, enjoy the view while you're at it. So when the narcissist sees that they can't break you because this is how you restore, that's the same kitchen that you were looking at just now, okay? That's the same kitchen that you were making fun of just now. That's the same kitchen you were just laughing about. That's what it looks like after getting rid of the narcissist out of my life. I was able to restore myself. So sometimes when they come into your life, they come into your life to birth your purpose. Sometimes when they come into your life, they come into your life to give you a sense of direction. They are who they are, but sometimes you need to get shaken up and shaped and point into the direction to gain your success. Okay? Sometimes you have a plan, you have a vision, you know what you want to do, but fear sometimes holds you back. Doubt holds you back. Uncertainty holds you back. Don't let nothing hold you back. You hear me? Not even those narcissistic people, okay? Do not let them hold you back. Okay? They were sent into your life to point you in a direction. You just have to understand the direction because they came in to play toy on your emotional intelligence. So now you got to realize that you were emotionally insecure, and that's why they were preying on your innocence. So once you start to heal that and you start to restore that, you'll see how better you become. So for those of you guys, let me show y'all something, okay? And I love that y'all are here because you guys are giving me support and y'all are giving the views. So I appreciate y'all for coming through. It's one of the best things you could have done for me is coming through and giving me your love and support like that, okay? This is another angle. You're asking if it's a real house. There it is right there, sis. And this is what it looks like when you restore yourself from a narcissist, okay? This is exactly what it looks like. So I'm so great. I cannot wait for Miss Reesa Teesa to tell y'all how she come out of this thing successful. You hear me? That's what I cannot wait for her to tell you. So go ahead. You need more pictures to see if this is a real picture or not? Okay, let me give you more picture of the house. And remember, you was looking at the place, right? How it was broken down and look all dirty and nasty. That's what happened when you're living with a narcissistic person. That's what they do to your home. Okay? There it is. There's another angle if you want more pictures. Listen, brown eyes. Oh, you pinned it, sis. Thank you so much, my love. Listen, thank you so much. I appreciate you because you already know. This was just part two of what we already started the discussion about. It's just so amazing to see that someone else is so comfortable to share their story. And y'all should not be afraid. Y'all should not be afraid. But let me tell you something, though. After going through all of those devastating time and seeing the house looking so damaged and stuff like that, I started to journal. Y'all. I have books everywhere. I have books. I journal. I write stuff down. I went into prayer. I went into fasting, y'all. I write so much because I wanted answers so bad. I wanted a sense of direction. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to turn. I was lost. I was miserable. And I couldn't figure out what is it that why. I would pray and ask God to give me guidance, give me direction. How do I get out of this type of relationship? Because there's no way you ordained this. There's no way that you did this because I can't be the one sitting here going through this. So I had to let go of control. I had to release stuff. I had to let it go and surrender everything to God. And I started to choose me. I chose me. Sometimes I would sit and meditate and pray about stuff because I did not know where to go and what direction to turn and what to do. I had no clue. But through prayer and fasting, the Holy Spirit revealed to me that there was no future with me and this man, and that I needed to surrender and let it go. I was heartbroken. I was devastated. I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to accept it. I was in denial, but I knew that's what I needed to do. Because I've been praying and asking for everything, and God revealed it to me and showed me that because I'm tied up with this man in this house, that's how I'm in covenant with this man, because I'm tied to him with this house. And mind you, when I bought the house, I bought my house cash. I did not owe anybody anything for my house. I bought my house cash. But guess what? The stupid thing that I did, I put his name on the house, on the deed, because there was no mortgage. That was the stupidest thing that I did, and I put his name on it. For I was in fear. I was living in fear. I was scared. I was scared. I bought that house 2017. And I bought that house cash. I didn't owe no money on that house. All I had to pay was $14,000 a year for my property taxes because of the neighborhood I was living in. And I'm not saying that I have money. I got the house foreclosed. I got a foreclosure house in an amazing neighborhood. You think I'm stupid? I'm financially smart. I was a bank manager, like for Chase Bank. So listen, I'm not stupid with my money. But when you get caught into the wrong hands, when you get caught into the hands of a manipulator, a narcissistic, abusive man, I'm telling you, they will destroy you and bring you down to zero. But because I was fasting and praying and I surrendered control, I didn't want to be in control no more. I couldn't endure this anymore. I couldn't take it anymore. I was filled. I was exhausted. I couldn't take no more. I surrendered and I let it go. I wrote every day. And the more I surrender was the more God started showing me signs. He started revealing things to me. I started to call the spirits by name. I'ma tell ya, I knew when deception came home. I knew when lies came home. I knew when dishonesty walked through the door. I knew I could call the spirit. I knew when that Jezebel spirit came through the door. I knew when that Jezebel lusting, that incubus, succubus spirit came through the door, because the Holy Spirit was revealing things to me, and I knew I had to be quiet. See, when he's working on you, you can't do nothing about it. He will get you out safely, but you gotta learn to humble yourself, and you gotta be quiet, because you might not make it out. I was very humble. So the whole time when he saw that I was there fixing up this house, y'all see how this house is fixed up? If y'all want more pictures, just type more pictures in the comment section. I could show y'all more places around the house, how I sweat and in tears, bloody fingers, everything. And I renovated this house. I paid for what I could afford, and I learned how to fix what I couldn't fix. What I couldn't afford, I fixed it. And I renovated this house. And I remember telling this man, I think I have a video on my page about the storage unit and selling things, getting rid of stuff, and just making that exit. And I remember telling this man, I didn't tell him till about a couple of days before closing, because all this time he's having all these plans. Oh, we could do this, we gonna do this, and I just knew what God had revealed to me. You wanted more pictures? Okay. I just knew what God had revealed to me, that I needed to let this house go, let it go, because this is how I'm in covenant with this man, and this is how I'm bound to him. So sometimes you need to ask yourself, exactly how are you bound to this thing? How are you bound to this person? How are you in covenant with them? This was another angle right here. How are you bound? What am I doing? Okay. How are you bound to them? How are you in covenant with them? How can you get yourself up out of here? Okay? How could you get out? Let me take y'all to the kids' room or something upstairs. How could you get out of this thing? So what is it that's causing you to be bound in covenant with this person? Why are you so locked up? Why are you so invested in this person? I just wanted to move myself out the way. That was my youngest room, okay? That was my youngest room. Listen, I didn't come up here. What's her name? Um, Mommy Bunny. Mommy Bunny. For those of you who've been here, I never asked anybody for a dollar, a penny, or anything of the sort. I didn't even ask anybody to tap the screen, okay, sis? Don't play with me, okay? I ain't the one to play with. Go play with your mama, okay? I ain't the one for you to play with. Go find you somebody else. I ain't the one for you, baby, okay? You came up in here. You could have kept scrolling, okay? I'm sharing my story to let other people know that you could get out of this thing, okay? Miss Reesa Teesa, I don't remember this lady. Listen, okay? She's sharing her story on what happened to her. I'm showing you what happened then and how I'm restored. Don't play with me. I ain't the one for you. You don't see me coming. Don't play with me, sis. I'm a whole boss. Play with me if you want to. I'm showing people that it's possible who is here uncertain if they should really leave or not. You could get out of this thing. Okay? You could get out of this thing. Y'all know I was on here doing this a long time ago. Y'all, listen, for those of you who know, listen, I'm here for you, okay? I'm here to help you out. We started this journey a long time ago, and we going to keep going. We're not worrying about nobody. Listen, I ain't even ask nobody. I never come on here asking people for stuff, okay? The only thing I plan on doing is to find ways how I could bring y'all more resources, okay? That was the, listen. The only thing I'm gonna find out is how I could find more resources for you guys so you could come out of this thing safely, okay? This is how you could come out. Oh, you said my pictures are fake? What would you like? You wanna see that same vase right now? And it's not a wooded floor? I wish if I would prove something to you. I wish if I would. Let me tell you something. After being with a narcissist for so long, you learn you don't prove nothing to anyone. See, that's the thing with a narcissist. They do not believe you, so you spend your whole life proving things to them to validate things to them. This is not for proving, baby. This is for helping other people to get out of it, to see that they can restore themselves and to get out. Because fear is what keeps you bound to the thing. Fear is what keeps you there. And fear is false evidence appearing real. FEAR, false evidence appearing real. It's not real. What you create, the false narrative, and you start to believe, you create the false narrative so much that you believe it to be true. Because guess what happened? They tell you these things and they convince you that you're not good enough and nobody's gonna want you and nobody's ever gonna wanna be with you. These things are lies. These things are lies. Don't believe them. But that's what they're sent to do, to discourage you from your purpose. If you realize that the person that you're with is not bringing you closer to God, but you're going further away, be cautious of that person and run for your life. Run for your life. They're going to tell you nobody don't want you. The house is in Washingtonville. Wait. So you know what I'm talking about then. All right. See, I don't gotta make wait. Who said that? Let me hold on. Hey girl, I was the one on your page the other day. It was the house in Washingtonville. All right. So you see my babies in here, my queens and my sis, they know we was not talking about this young lady, okay? We bless her and we support her and we want to see her win. Okay, I'm gonna invite you up. I invited a sis to come up. Come on up, sis. As you can see, I don't normally invite her, but you could come on up. Good night. How are you, my love? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm here just yapping away. How are you?
Pretty good. Yeah, I was just wanted to just jump in and say those narcissists. There is no way they can believe that they will never say that they're narcissists. They will never go get help. Nothing. And the reason why we are in it so long, because I'm in one right now. Been with them for 20 years, married 18.
Wow.
I'll go when my kids get out of school. I'll go when my kids get out of school. I'll go when my kids.
And the kids are out of school, right?
No, I'm a
Oh,
junior and a senior.
okay.
But if I kept trying to convince myself that they don't know because we don't argue. Like if we have a disagreement or something, it's like plain silence. But I'm like, they can feel the tension when you're walking around, y'all, mommy and daddy not speaking, or why is mommy always someplace and daddy never shows up? They're of age to where they can see it now, which is sad. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta go. I can't wait another year. I'm destroying the kids.
You know,
Never mind, I'm gonna destroy myself.
you know what I'm gonna say to you, Tara, and I had a video pinned on my page before, and that video was one of my first videos that got 25,000 views over a year ago. And I remembered that video. I was confessing in that video. I confess to the fact that I was lying to myself. This was my confession. I still have it on my page so y'all can see it. I was honest with myself, and I told myself that I was lying, and I didn't stay for I told myself that I was staying for the kids. And that was something I told myself, that story, for a long time. I stayed for 13 years. I believe that story so much, Tara. I believe it so much. I stayed because I told myself that I was staying for the kids, because guess what? The narrative outside is saying that, oh, a two-parent household. So I didn't want to be a part of society's stigma. I wanted to be different. I wanted to be a chain breaker. I wanted to be a generational curse breaker. I didn't want to be none of the other things. So I was ashamed, and my truth was eating me alive. But I'm going to be honest with you. These mountains of books that you see here, I realized that I was writing my story. And every day when I would talk to God and I would write stuff down and I would pray about it, I didn't know that He was helping me to write my story. I read a section in it and it was just like, I would want to read that. I would definitely want to read that, right? And and I'm saying that to you because I remember my kids kept seeing that we were arguing and going back and forth, back and forth. And my kids saw that so much that he would leave and come back. And my daughter said to me, Mommy, you don't see that daddy's just using us? And I was like, huh? She was like, Mommy, you don't see that he just come here for food and a place to sleep? Yo. So if your child is saying that, how you like what? That's what my daughter was. I was so embarrassed when she said that. And I would sit down and I would have nightly devotion. But mind you, I'm fighting against my spirit and my flesh. I'm in a war zone with my fleshy desires and my spirit. My spirit is unhappy, it's miserable, and I'm in torment. But my flesh also wanted to get some satisfaction. And I remember sitting there talking to my kids on the floor, and we're reading the Bible and we're having devotion and we're talking. And I was reassuring them and telling them that, this mommy not gonna take him back. This is the last time. I'm not gonna take him back. And she said, okay, mommy. Maybe a month or two or so go by. And he was back at the house. He was back at the house. And the kids were so afraid. They would hide underneath their bed because they were like, Mommy, I don't know if mommy's gonna make it out alive. And this is some of the things that we traumatize our kids with, because we're saying that we're staying for the kids. And the kids are scared because we're conditioning them, we're teaching them, we're training them how to go out into society. They look to us for examples first, and we wonder why they're so broken when they go out into society, because of what we're exposing them to. I was exposing my babies to trauma. I was teaching my babies how to live in fear. I was teaching my babies how to accept abuse. I was indirectly conditioning them to stay and accept abuse. It might not be physical that you're showing your children, but they're a part of you. They're connected to you. They can feel it. A happy home does not look like that. I was so grateful that the kids got to see me apart from him so they could know me separate from him. I did not block him out of their lives. I did not shut him out. I didn't do anything of the sort. I let go of control. My kids got a chance to see me by myself happy. So this way they got a chance to see what happiness look like. And sometimes you got to think about what it is that you're teaching your kids and what are you exposing them to? What kind of lifestyle are you giving them? What kind of image are you modeling to them? Because remember, you're their first model. You're the first model that your children wants to go out and to mirror you. So a lot of times you'll see your children do things that you do and you're wondering, they think that I don't know what they're doing, trying to outsmart me. That's because they are you. So be honest with yourself. Thank you so much, guys, for the love, the support. April, I see you, sis. I see you, Gaza. Listen, I see y'all so much, but you know, sometimes when you're in a train of thought and you're just giving the message, you're just giving the message and delivering it. That's all you're doing at the time. I'm not ignoring y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank you for sharing your time with me. As y'all know, who been in here since Saturday night, knew that this is just a continuation from what we started, right? I just felt the need to come in and just continue a little bit sooner than waiting for Saturday, to let you guys know, because I see there's such a need for this in our community, right? You got to be honest with yourself. You really have to be honest with yourself. And I think in this book right here, I mean, I know I'm going to lose a couple of people right now, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But it's very short, Tara, and I'm going to read this to you. Okay? This is what I wrote. March 21st, 2022. This was when I gave up. This is when I gave up. So I'm going to tell you what I wrote. I can't change my husband. It's not my responsibility. But my responsibility is to love, respect, and pray for my husband. That's my responsibility. God is the only one who can change him. Instead, I will trust that God will release to him all that his heart's desire to take care of his family. I pray for the heart of my husband. I'm not his judge. You are my God. Take over, please, God. Take over. Help him to love me again and help me to love him too. Jesus is the Lord of my marriage and our family, our finances and our children and our house. He is in control of our lives. Dear God, if he walks in with deceit, expose him so that his heart will be turned back to you. Thank you in the name of Jesus. Amen. My prayers were never selfish, sis. My prayers were never, as you could see, I was never bitter. I was never angry with him. I asked for God to do what only he can do. I was never, and this was March 21st, 2022. And if you look on the house, I could give you the address for the house in Washington, but my sister's in here, so she knows the house. I sold that house April 13th, 2022, and this was March 21st. This was March 21st. I wrote that prayer, and the house closed on April 13th, 2022. That's less than a month away. That's because I already knew what God told me in October. And I already had surrendered to him. So my prayers were never selfish. My prayers were prayers of surrender. I surrendered it all to him because I realized I wanted to be with somebody who didn't want me. I wanted to be with somebody who didn't love me. I was too ashamed of what everybody else was going to say. I was too ashamed. I wasn't ashamed of the finances. I wasn't ashamed of the finances. And here's why. I was the breadwinner in the household. So I wasn't ashamed of the finances and how we were going to take care of the expenses. I wasn't ashamed of that. What I was ashamed of was how people was going to look at me, how I was going to look to people. I cared about that more than anything else. Subconsciously, I did. I really did care about what are people gonna say that my marriage failed, and I was so happy about it. I was all in. I lost my identity. I lost myself. I lost everything about me in the marriage, and I didn't know who I was anymore. So,
Wait 1 second. Um, I'm not sure. Sulika, I wasn't. It wasn't so much when you're living with a narcissist. You see the red flags, but you really don't see them immediately. So I have journals. I'm a journal writer because I suffer from depression and anxiety. I have journals dating back to 2012.
I believe
My
you.
psychiatrist and my therapist told me whenever you feel like you think you need to stay, because I just within the last 6 months got the courage to say, you know what, I gotta go. I can't stay. I had to go back and reread those journals, and it was the same thing over and over
Over,
again. I'm
right.
always trying to do something different. Maybe if I do this, he'll love me. Maybe if I do this, he'll give me attention. This man don't tell me he loved me. No kiss, no hug, no touch, nothing. The most we do together is watch TV. And I have to watch whatever he's watching just to feel like